right, dude. Fucking One Way Out episode. What'd you say?
56.
56. All right. Yeah, dude. We already we're going off here the few minutes we've wasted. But yeah, well, so what I was saying was like the Gen Z population. I mean, the men, I'm going to talk mostly about the men, although, you know, like it's easy to shit on the women, but like, so the Gen Zers, they're complaining that these young men are like checking out of marriage, becoming, what does Nick Fuentes call himself? Like a voluntary incel? Yeah. Like he's a voluntary incel. And yeah, it's like going that way in a big way. And I think it's not unrelated to the culture war and how, you know, this feminist fucking shit has been pushed nonstop. Men are the fucking oppressors, the enemy, death to the patriarchy, like all of the ill. Dude, I had a female in real life tell me that if women were in charge, there'd be no wars, or it would be better. Like or men have destroyed society. But that's in the same breath saying, I don't hate men, but, you know, then say a bunch of hateful shit about dudes. So what I was trying to tell her, have you ever heard of the idea of, I think, that Andrew Wilson, I think he's like a popular
the guy who can't open a pickle jar.
It was greased, Dan. It was greased. It was still greasy.
Okay. Hold on one sec.
All right. I'm gonna keep ranting here for a second.
Bert.
Oh.
We're doing the podcast right now. You want to hop on?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, shit. All right, dude. Mark will text you we'll send what do you call it, to your email address.
Yeah, I'll send it to the group chat and then he can.
It'll be in the group chat.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Nice.
Here, let me do that real quick. But yeah, dude.
I'll take two.
Yeah. I don't know what his views are going to be on all this because, dude, there's so many people that will be like red pilled or good on the fucking culture war. But then like when you get to talking to them, they'll just be like closet feminists. It's fucking weird, dude. Like if you're not at this point, not a repeal the 19th Amendment kind of guy, meaning the women's right to vote, like I don't understand. You're not paying attention.
Dude, I posted, here's what I say. I want a crazy hard intelligence test and physical fitness standard test. And it can be modified for women on the physical fitness side, right? Like I'm obviously not going to make you do reps of 225 bench. Okay? Sure. But we're going to find a female equivalent of what like 225 is for bench. And if you can't do that, you don't get the vote. I also want a hard logic test and like history and civics test. And if you can't pass that, you don't get the vote. And that's going to disqualify 80% of women. I'm not going to lie right there. And people would be like, oh, because they can't pass the test. I'm like, yeah. Like Starship Troopers, service guarantees citizenship. If you're dumb enough that you can't like pass this test and you're not physically taking care of yourself to where like you're going to be a blight on society, then you don't get the vote. Like,
yeah, and because that guarantees you have a stake in the society, right? Like, as of right now, dude, a huge swath of the population and ones that vote actually don't actually have a stake in the society or care necessarily. Like they're not.
I just saw videos of Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And that guy Jake Lang, who's apparently Jewish but running around with a crucifix. He's got all sorts of shady shit in the background of him. But anyway, like one of the main things that hit me was there's that young dude, I forget his name, but he goes to all the events. He went to the Supermax in El Salvador. I actually like that dude. He's really good. He gets like into all these situations. But he was interviewing a bunch of the Muslim dudes that live in Dearborn.
I saw that, yeah.
And then he was like, hey, if we fought Iraq, would you fight for America or Iraq? And he's like, I would not fight. I would go to jail. And I'm like, that guy is like the moderate, like, right, where I'm not going to fight for America. Like, he's not even going to fight for America. And that's an American citizen by paper because he was born here. But like, yeah, man, there is no... Like that's not a citizen. Like what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, dude, I agree.
Yeah.
And saying that in the country that you're in, dude, like, I don't know, it just shows that there's like this is the problem with multiculturalism, right? Like we say all the fucking time. Like if you have a multicultural society, that's not a cohesive society. You can't have a multicultural society and also have a fucking democratic electorate or whatever. You have to have a fucking dictator. It's the only way it could possibly work.
You ever seen Game of Thrones where King Robert asked Cersei, what's bigger, 5 or 1?
Yeah.
5 or one.
Because he's talking about the Dothraki.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true because I mean, when they're united, dude, that you can get a lot of shit done. Like America, whatever is going on right now, we're not united at all, dude.
No,
like
there's no American culture. I tell people, I'm like, you have little something because of the mass importation of immigration. I saw a stat that we're at like over 30% foreign born in the U.S. At the height of Ellis Island, it was 18%. At the height of Ellis Island, it was 18% foreign born. So we're almost double of what foreign born with like the height of like the classic, America's a country of immigrants like thing.
Yeah.
Like when you import that many people, like they don't have to assimilate. They don't have to assimilate. What's up, brother?
How's it going, dudes?
Just talking shit. Talking a lot of shit.
Dude, there's a lot to talk shit about.
Yeah, dude. We were just talking about right now, if you've been seeing the videos coming out of Dearborn with, the large population of let's just say non-pro-Americans.
Yeah.
But even that's like a psyop. It's generated by like that dude Jake Lang. It's like blatantly he's getting paid because like they're trying to make us scared of Muslims. But my point is like you can't import millions of people at the same time because like if you bring in a few immigrants, they got to deal with all of us. Say you bring in a few Indians and they're all hanging out with us in high school and they smell like shit. Everyone's gonna fucking make fun of them, and then the next thing you know, Cash Patel is gonna show up wearing as much Axe body spray to fucking kill a cow. Right? Like that's what's gonna happen, and that's how America worked. Is it like, oh yeah, we brought in some people, you brought in your good shit, you brought in your tacos, you brought in your fucking hot Latinas, you brought in your good shit, and then all your bad shit, we shamed you the fuck out of. Well, you bring too many of them in all together at the same time. They just make little Somalia. They make little fucking Bangladesh. They make little and then now you've got all these different countries and you don't have an American culture. So,
yeah. I mean, short of like straight up government force, social pressure is like the fucking biggest like thing to get people to fall in line. Which is another thing I wanted to talk about with the women, I don't know, becoming OnlyFans. This OnlyFans generation is like, women select men, right? Like men try to sleep with the women, but it's up to the women to let them, let them in or not. So the men will kind of acquiesce to what the women want. And this generation of women, especially the younger one, they're just fucking left is left gets, dude. And then remember what I was saying, this generation Z is kind of like becoming like incel culture, maybe even by choice, I guess, because they're going further to the right. Women are going further to the left. So I mean, unless they're going to straight up lie and manipulate these girls like we used to. But, like they're not going to get laid because these girls are just not going to, they're only going to sleep with the dudes that are lying to them. The top, whatever percentage of dudes that are, pretending to be liberal so they can get in their pants. And then, once they bust the nut, then they just pull the mask off and it's fucking Nick Fuentes or whatever. And then leaves.
It's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, like the pressures that women put on men, that social pressure. That's why men would go fucking sign up to go fucking die in wars and stuff. Because like if everyone in your community, all the dudes in your community are like signing up to go fight the fucking Nazis or whatever, and you didn't, you were gonna pay a huge social cost from the women in your community, right? Like, why? What are you, a coward? What, you don't want to defend us?
That's the woman thing. Is men used to go to war. It's like,
yeah. That's why they say that.
Women didn't used to show their butthole for $4.99 on OnlyFans.
Dude, I'm telling you, like everyone's like, why do you care about that? Or who cares about the red pill movement? Or why are all these podcasts like whatever podcast and the Myron Gaines stuff? Why is all that fresh and fit? Why are those like so popular? It's because like that actually is very important. Like the divide, the breakdown between men and women has like destroyed the fucking country, because now we don't have stable families. Men and women are together, and if you don't have stable families are the cornerstone of any population.
Well, you have stable families. It's just not amongst your traditional American communities.
Well,
yes. And so that goes back to the whole entire immigration thing. And I'm like, these leftists, I see chicks when they advocate for like leftist immigration policies. I'm like, it's kind of where I'm at the point where I'm like, oh yeah, bring them in. Bring them in.
You know where there's a lot of stable families? Dearborn, Michigan. They have got a lot of stable families.
Bring them in, baby. Let them come.
Dan, you said something earlier that I want to hear more about. You said something about that you think some of the chatter about like Muslims and is trying to like get us to hate them. Is that what you said?
Yeah. They're trying to drum up the Muslim like fear fucking aspect of it all over again. I just saw a poll that said 50% of Americans under 40 don't support Israel. They need a boogeyman. They don't.
Right.
If you go and look at like actual like more traditional Christians, and I grant that there's radical, like, dude, that's the problem with the Israelis, with the Jewish like state right now. It's ran by the radicals. It's ran by the radicals. Right. That's the problem with it. That's the problem with Syria right now. So where you overthrew the fucking moderate president who let you have religious liberty somewhat, as long as you were a radical jihadist, and now you got the radical in charge, right?
Right.
So there's obviously going to be radicals. They're going to go and fucking pick out those radicals, try to fucking show you and be like, this is why we have to support Israel. This is the entire psyop. But it's not even like, to me, I don't even give a shit anymore, dude. We're $37 trillion in debt. Yep, it doesn't matter. I could be the biggest Israel dick sucker on earth, which I'm not, but I could be. We don't have the money.
Right.
Our kids, we're not reproducing because everyone's living in their parents' basement, and the only people that are making money are showing their butthole on OnlyFans for $4.
It's true. You know, so I thought about it's interesting that you said all that stuff because I was talking today. So I've been an Orthodox Christian for about a year and a half. And Orthodoxy and Catholicism are really old forms of Christianity that still exist in like the old world, right? Like if you go to like in many Middle Eastern countries, like if you go to Jordan, you're either like Orthodox or Catholic or you are like Muslim, right? A lot of like the second oldest church on the face of the earth is St. Porphyrius, which is a Greek Orthodox church in Gaza, right? And what I find fascinating is this anti-Muslim sentiment, like some of the like fear factor stuff of like needing that boogeyman and like Muslims are it. And it's not to say Muslims don't do crazy shit because they do. But
dude, who funded all the madrasa schools? Who funded ISIS? Who funded the Taliban?
Right. Well, and beyond that, if you look at the people who are drumming this fear up, there is a huge population of the non-denominational Israeli flag waving American Christians that are wearing their Lion of Judah, Israeli American flag T-shirts, and they're like they are banging the war drum and the fear factor about Muslims. When in reality, Christians have lived next door to Muslims in these old countries for centuries, and it's not that there's never been problems, but they're way exaggerated. And these communities of Christians, these non-denominational ones that are like, just basically like shining Israel's knob. Like Calvary Chapels, I don't know if you guys know, the Israeli Foreign Affairs Ministry had their FARA application released and it went public. And it shows an LLC that the Israeli Foreign Affairs Ministry is using to literally geofence non-denominational churches. They're tracking the cell phones of all of these churchgoers in and out so they can send pro-Israel propaganda and messaging to straight to their phones and straight to their pastors. And it's like, are these pastors informing their congregations that like, there is a foreign nation that is literally targeting all of your cell phones to send pro-Israel videos to you guys? And these are the quote unquote Christians that are like, banging this fear factor drum to try to like, make all Muslims to be the boogeyman again.
Yeah. Dude, it's straight up a psyop. The Dearborn stuff. It doesn't be rude, dude. The Somalis, like, look at this shit. Like, for some reason, the Somalis, like, they're Muslim. There's some of them are, some of them are not, right? Like, dude,
right?
Get rid of them, dude. Like, they just
right? Yeah.
Like, bye. Like, dude, this entire shit on what's that?
That's a list of churches that they're geofencing. I mean, there's a ton of them. I read this whole document when it first came out, just to see if the churches in my area were on there, or like my father-in-law's church.
They probably are.
Well,
there's probably at least ones you recognize on there.
There are ones I recognize, but what I did notice is there's not a whole bunch of Catholic or Orthodox.
There's
places.
none.
There's
zero.
None. Yeah.
Goose egg. Zero.
All
The first-
Protestants.
yes. The first thing I looked for was like, are there any Catholic or Orthodox churches? Fucking goose egg.
They already
None.
know they can't get them. They're like,
You know,
Yeah, dude. It's over.
You know what's funny is they're trying the Ukraine peace deal. Well, part of it is that the Ukrainians have to like not fuck with the Orthodox Church, and like it's one of the biggest pushbacks that they're having.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh wow, dude, like they've pegged that we don't really have control of this denomination of Christianity, and we're gonna fucking.
That's right. It's honestly, dude, it's been a wild ride for me because, like I said, I've only been an Orthodox Christian for about a year and a half, and for the first time in my life, I've met Arab Christians, and they are fully Arab, dude. Like they grew up in Palestine.
Yeah.
They had to leave Gaza for Jordan for safety reasons. So they spent most of their life growing up in Jordan, but they are fully Christian, but they're fully Arab. And it is crazy getting to pick their brain. And they're like, dude, in Jordan, they're like, Jordan is one of the safest countries you'll ever be in. And it's all, the only people there are either like Orthodox, Catholic, or Muslim. And they literally are like, it's so safe that you could pull your car in front of your house, not even in the driveway, leave the keys in it. No one's going to touch it. No one.
Well, dude, Libya was safe until they got rid of Gaddafi. Syria was safe. Syria was safe till they got rid of Bashar al-Assad because they were keeping these fucking whack jobs in check. And look what we got going on here. We have this pussified fucking corrupt ass government. We're allowing 95 different fucking whack jobs organizations to run wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what, dude, you can't, like, you just see in the NY Post, a guy was getting mugged in Queens.
Yeah.
New York. He's getting mugged. He has a pistol on him. He shoots and kills him. He doesn't get convicted for killing the guy because it's self-defense. He gets convicted under the P. Diddy law, which is when P. Diddy went and got off on gun charges in New York City. After that, Giuliani put in a law: if you have an unregistered handgun, it's a minimum 3-year jail sentence. So now they're putting him in jail for 4 fucking years when he was being
unbelievable.
Mugged. Right, mugged, dude. So it's like I can't even walk outside. And if I get attacked and defend myself in a blue jurisdiction, I'm going to jail. It's a narco tyranny, Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How's that consistent with the Second Amendment at all? Like it boggles the mind.
Yeah. Marbury versus the United States. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is illegal.
Right. Yeah.
Marbury versus United States.
Yeah. That's what I point to though when people talk about the Constitution. This is unconstitutional. This, that, or the other. It's like that shit is just a piece of paper. Look how far it's gotten from there. You know, and then especially when I'm dealing with the conservatives because they're the ones who usually talk like that. Yeah. I'm like, why don't you have a stock on your fucking short-barreled pistol?
On your pistol.
Whatever. Yeah, on your pistol. Why do you have a pistol? Why is there such thing as a pistol brace? Because no one gives a fuck about the Constitution. They step all over it whenever, including the people who claim to follow it. It's just a piece of paper. Unless you really believe it. It turns out COVID showed us a lot of people don't really believe it, or else when they shut all those churches down, people would have been not cool with it. And when I mean not cool with it,
I think we bore out our little own isolated experiment, and I think around a third of the country was ready to roll on that shit. Like if they would have went further down that path, I think. Sure. I mean, it was about, I think 20 to 30% of the country was like pretty much like, yeah, fuck you. I mean, I point to that. Like I've always been more on the extreme edge, but that was my radicalization point. Like where I was like, yeah, fuck you, people. Like
it's always made me wonder like how much, because it's hard to measure, right? And the question is how much does the prevalence of firearms ownership in the United States, how much has that affected the slow rate that things have become tyrannical rather than really fast? You know what I mean? Like how much does that factor into the equation? Because at the end of the day, like if you want to enforce something, it's got to be at the barrel of a gun, right? That's why we have law enforcement. That's why we have cops, right? Like we pass legislation, you have to be able to enforce it. So I don't know. I've always wondered, like, there's a lot of guns in this country still. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, I wonder to what extent has that thwarted things getting a lot worse than what they are.
Gigantic amount. Yeah. Gigantic amount. Was huge. If we didn't have guns here, dude, like look how they're treating us with guns, dude.
I know. This shit would have been over years ago.
Yeah, dude, like this is how they're acting, and we're the most armed country on the world.
And I think that's why really why they go hard the way they do at the right wing groups, like the Proud Boys, they the J6 people, they hammer those people because they know they have to crush those people. Like they'll let Antifa, they'll let the BLM guys just tear shit up because they will never organize like that, and they're not. They have guns, but they're not. Like,
I agree. Yeah. I agree 100% with Biden. The biggest threat to their
white men.
Democracy is white men. I 100% agree with him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's dead spot on. Actually,
again, this is why it all goes back to what I was saying, because what you just said, Eric, was that guns have stopped them from doing things because force. What were you saying about Starship Troopers earlier? Violence is the supreme authority from which all other authorities derive. Which is why when I was arguing with this feminist, she was telling me that it would be better if women were in charge, and I'd be like, they could never be in charge. And she's like, that's such a sexist thing to say. That blah blah blah. It's like, no, because everything always comes down to force and who does the force. Who does the force? We have like the way the government has the monopoly on force in the state or whatever. Yeah. Men have a monopoly on force in the genders. They just do. Like the only reason they have rights is because men gave them those rights. If they and they could take them away or whatever, but that just speaks to the benevolence of men. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I would even suffice to say that if you armed all females with AR-15s and men had nothing but sticks and stones, it's only a matter of time before we jump some of them and we take your guns, and then it just spreads like a virus from there. Sure. Like even that wouldn't work. Like there's no way.
Yeah, the most intervention possible.
That guy Andrew Wilson, the guy who can't open a pickle jar.
Sure.
He was actually destroying this feminist on it.
I saw it.
He was making that point, and I'm not a big fan of that guy, but like I was arguing with a girl I know, and I was like, listen, I don't really I think he's a tool, but like I will post stuff of people that I don't agree with when they make a good point, right? Yeah. So he made a good point, like, and it was like, yeah, and which is fuck you, and like the reason this ends when we say it ends, right? Right. And then she was like, your wife has 3 baby daddies, and he imploded, bro.
Sure, yeah, that's where he dropped the ball. Yeah, he was right up until that.
He was right up to that.
Yeah. That definitely triggered him, where he was like, you're a fucking bitch. You like sneeze or
sniz.
I've never heard that one before, but and it's also hard to talk about this too, because it's like it sounds kind of radical, but other guys have that are like way more experts. Sure. In terms of direct action and violence, like Jesse the Body Ventura. I'll never forget the commentary he gave when remember the Beltway snipers in Maryland, right? A father-son team.
I was down there when that shit was going down.
Yeah. Just a duo sniper team kept an entire city under siege for months. And Jesse the Body Ventura went on national television and he said, do you have any idea what would happen if just me and 6 of my homies from the teams decided we're done with this shit and we're going to arm up, and there's 6 of us? You have any idea what just a 6-man team could do if they were trained the way I was and we were in it to win it? That's crazy to think about. That's nuts.
Asymmetric warfare. Yeah.
Bro, I was down there. Fucking motherfuckers were running zigzag. Fucking bastards.
Oh my god,
that's crazy. I went on vacation down there while it was going on, dude.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, it's not wrong, man. It's highly motivated people. I mean, the Middle East showed us that. The most sophisticated military in the world, and we're getting fucking hemmed up by dudes with AKs that just weren't afraid to die.
Here's the thing too. This goes to the leftist chicks that are like, support all immigrants. There's no borders. All people are people. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, why am I fighting against this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you from Iraq, from Syria. Let's go, my brother.
Sure.
Can I still love Jesus? Yeah, you just get promoted in public. I'm like, all right, good enough for me. Let's go, man.
It's kind of already like that. It's fine.
Yeah. We're kind of already in that realm. Like,
but this is the thing. They're
throwing people in jail for fucking praying outside of abortion clinics. So
sure. Yeah, dude. They're just. I don't know, man. This. I think it really does like that Andrew Wilson video you were talking about really is, and like you were saying, there is a cost for talking like this, because it does seem radical, but who is really attacking you? Who is really coming for you? And I would say it's fucking mostly women and weak dudes that are trying to get in to bang those women.
Yep.
Like everyone else, all the men, if you ever work a blue collar job or a job like ours, like every dude feels like this and thinks like this. Just everyone's afraid because we all have wives that, if I've told my wife how we should repeal the 19th, she'll stop sleeping with me or whatever, like everyone's afraid. I'm not joking, dude. I literally have had these conversations.
Half my shit, and then
she'll rape me in the courts because they literally have empowered women to walk away from marriages,
What's his face just found out about that? Mike Glover.
Oh yeah,
about that, dude.
Look, yeah,
his
dude.
story's fucking crazy, and it's like, dude, call some people, Mikey. Like this has been going on for decades, homie.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to the world, dude. Welcome to the Matrix.
Welcome to the show, baby.
And he's a fucking Green Beret, dude. Like squared away, dude, man. Like, and they fucking took him to the fucking cleaners, man.
Yeah, and look at how even law enforcement, who he's worked with.
Yeah,
he immediately became public enemy number one. Like everyone's side-eyeing him, ready to shoot it out with him over what? Over what? He didn't do anything.
No, protecting women, bro. Like protecting women.
It's crazy.
I mean, but everyone's afraid. A lot of men are afraid to speak up like this because they'll pay the cost from the women in their lives or whatever, even though it's true. And I think I see a lot of it, like in literally placating women has got us in some fucking fucked up positions, namely 85% of them voted for fucking Mamdani in New York. Like I know Dan likes it, but I mean, I just think like you can't have a free population, like a strong, healthy, cohesive population and women's empowerment at the same time. It doesn't work. Then you look around to the rest of the fucking world. There's a reason why no one else does that except the West. Right. And look what's happening in the West specifically. Like, I think what Andrew Wilson said it in that video, right? Like he's like, how come your little protests or whatever? How come they don't happen in fucking Afghanistan? How come they don't happen in Asia?
Right. I laid it out before Bert got on here, but dude, I'm telling you, it's a history, civics, and logic test. Pretty tough.
Sure.
And then also a physical fitness test. You can weight it. You can scale it for women. You do that, bro. I guarantee you, fit jack chicks that know history are not voting leftist policies.
All 5 of them, they're not going to vote for that.
not voting leftist policies. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a small percentage, but at least we have a standard, and then you can say we're not discriminating based on characteristics of a person that cannot be changed or they have no control over because you can go get yourself educated, you can go get yourself work out. That's your answer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just think they're imperative to be empathetic and everything. They want everything fair and all this shit. That works great with raising children, which is their biological purpose. It doesn't work great when you're trying to organize a society. It just doesn't.
Right.
Because then you'll allow unlimited hordes of fucking aliens in. That's what you'll get. That is what will happen.
Yeah. And it turns out diversity is not our strength. And when we give any Tom, Dick, and Harry the vote, right?
Yeah.
When we give any Tom, Dick, or Harry the vote, right? Like you have fucking idiots determining the direction of the entire nation.
Sure.
Right. And like great case study. Look at Rhodesia. Whether you agree or disagree with the race component of it, at the bare minimum, you have the vote going out to an incredibly uneducated population. And when they it's funny because people in the United States, like namely leftists, they talk about, we want reparations. Dude, Rhodesia's a great case study.
I think we call it Zimbabwe now.
Yeah, exactly. Do we? Dude, we went beyond reparations in Rhodesia, and it was like, here's the keys to the fucking kingdom. The whole thing is yours. And what happened? Immediately, starvation. Sure. They printed a $2 trillion bill. I mean, it turned into a fucking hellhole overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight.
And what did they do to the minority population there? You know what I mean? like the white people. I don't know, man. It just doesn't go well.
Well, dude, Rhodesia, like reparations too. I saw the amount of money that we've spent since the Civil Rights Act. It's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on the Black community, this, that, the other thing. Right. Dude, like all the fucking ones whining about it are losers anyway. I hang out with Black people, dude. None of those dudes have that fucking mentality, dude. It's such a leftist, like grift. And it comes back. There was a magazine.
It's women. It's liberal women that are saying
It's
this.
not just liberal women though, dude. But it comes back to the Crusader. One of the ways that they it was a communist magazine in the 1920s, and one of the ways that they were talking about spreading communism was to make any issue that could be an oppressor versus oppressee issue. Mm-hmm. Men oppressing women.
Sure.
We could use that to advance communism. White people oppressing black people. We can, so they just constantly use it. So like these people that are in a communist ideology, I'm not even talking socialist, I'm talking straight communist. Sure. They use that tool the entire time. And it's like, dude, we've spent so much money on this, that, the other thing. I've been taxed out the ass. I never got a bonus point. I never got preference. I was born 20 years after the Civil Rights Act. Half my family got brought over for being criminals and sold into fucking basically indentured servitude. The other half were goddamn prisoners of war that got dragged over here. I got nothing to do with slavery. I ain't paying you shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I'm second generation, dude. My people aren't here yet.
But we do it through taxes. They do it through taxes, and they, here you go.
Yeah.
How many people are thrilled on paying taxes after all the exposés on like USAID and what our fucking money's been going to? You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, fuck you. Like, I don't want you to take another fucking dime with what we know of how you're
how's the rat going to get Sesame Street programs, bro?
Exactly, right? Fuck me, dude. It's
that's true. That is true. That is 100% true. And then it's forever aid to fucking countries that hate us, as far as certain Middle Eastern countries. Actually, all the Middle Eastern countries, really.
The Republicans are going to lose because they're sitting here saying socialism sucks and then literally passing socialist shit. Like they're like, we need to go and pre-bail out AI if the bubble breaks. Yeah. Socialist, EBT, socialist. Yeah, dude, all this shit. They constantly, for the rich and the corporations, they got socialist policies left and right. But then you go, no socialism for you, and we're all sitting here like,
right. Yeah, all of this stuff is compounding on each other, and slowly it chips away the faith and the trust that people have in the entire American experiment. Like people are losing faith in it. They're losing faith in the government, and rightly so. I mean, dude, could you imagine being in West Virginia and knowing that your attorney general is Jay Jones, a dude that says he thinks conservative children should die? I'll tell you one thing: if I'm in West Virginia.
No, Virginia.
And my kid gets fucking charged with some bullshit lefty fucking hate crime, and that's the dude that's going to prosecute. Nah, dude, ain't going down like that.
One way out.
Zero faith of a fair trial when you got a dude like fucking a prosecutor like Jay Jones. I don't even. How the fuck did that guy get elected, dude? I don't even. It's just insane. We're living in fucking clown world.
They ran the worst possible neocon, dude. They're ramming, the GOP is trying to ram this neocon model that was why Trump won initially, but he's now embedded with it. They're trying to run it and be like, look, they're MAGA, they're America first. And unfortunately for them,
they're just neocons,
Yeah, the internet now exists. Everyone sees it. We've dealt with this for like people like me and you that have been around for like 40.
Yeah.
Like we've been dealing with this for 20 fucking years. We see all your... we're ciphering the matrix. I don't even see code anymore. I just see psyops.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's interesting is like the switch from the rift that happened between America First and MAGA was recognized so quickly as MAGA. Like it didn't I don't think the wool this time got pulled over anyone's eyes, because it's like the original MAGA is now America First, and they recognize that MAGA is now co-opted by the fucking neocons. And it's now, which is why the line is pretty fucking clear. You're either America First or fuck you.
Yep.
Period.
It literally has to be that. Yeah.
Bro, dude, I'll tell you right now, if a Democrat came in and was like, I'm going to throw all of them in jail, I'd be like, you have my vote.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
They'll actually do it.
Yeah, well, we will actually do it. Funny, I voted for them to throw you in jail, but I guess I will vote for you.
Yeah.
Well, and there's still some Democrats that like refuse to take APAC money. It's like, that's a start. That's a start.
Did you guys see Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw that. I didn't listen to her video or anything, so I'm not sure what.
Yeah. She's right on the video, but that tells me they got her on shit.
Yeah.
They
she's a businesswoman, dude. Yeah, she did some insider trading, which they all do.
Yep.
They can weaponize that how they want, but she cheated on her husband a bunch of times. I mean,
Yeah.
she's got shit. She's got skeletons.
They got skeletons. They were like, you either fucking do this or we're going to make Matt Gates, what we put Matt Gates through, look like a fucking Ferris wheel ride.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, it's we talked about it on the last episode about the implosion of MAGA versus America First or whatever, but it really is. I mean, I don't think their strategy is going to work because, like you pretty much nailed it on the head. They cannot react fast enough or control the narrative. Actually, they just can't control the narrative. But even if they could, they can't do it fast enough to where everyone is just all these internet sleuths are like making montages and highlight reels and the second something happens, it's like you have like an hour window to fucking try to get control of the narrative because everyone's just gonna all the information is just gonna flood everybody, and then all the content creators are gonna fucking rip up whatever message you put out there, all the plot holes and shit.
It is crazy how fast it is.
So fast, dude. Every week, man, it's like it's fucking like by the time, because we do an episode like at the end of the week, and dude, like by the time the end of the week comes, like the thing that happened at the beginning, it feels like so long ago. So much shit has happened.
Dude, yeah, it's true. That is really crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy how quick it's moving. But yeah, so
yeah, dude, like for example, like Trump met with Mamdani. We barely breezed over the fact that he met with fucking the
Sholani. Yeah, Sholani. Yeah.
Like, dude, like
someone saying Al Qaeda.
Yeah, dude.
Was it a real video where Mamdani is standing next to Trump sitting at the desk, and a reporter is like, "Hey, don't you think he's a fascist? Didn't you call him a fascist?" And Mamdani like begins to talk, and Trump like passes over, like, "You can say it. It's okay." Is that real?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Real.
Oh my god,
it could be real.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Mamdani was like, "Yeah, I do. Okay, yeah, you're a fascist." So weird.
The Sullivan hit him up and was like, "You're going to tax white people more?" He's like, "Well, we're going to tax the neighborhoods." He's like, "The neighborhoods where all the white people live." He's like, "Yeah, but it's about the geographic location."
Oh, convenient. Convenient.
But,
yeah,
dude,
unbelievable.
Bro, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep it coming. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. It's just going to hasten the day.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Stan's strategy is let them get what they want so they can get what they want, and then we can just, deal with it.
Yeah.
But look, I'll be the moderate one here, and I'm saying I'm trying to nip it in the bud by getting women under control, because if we do that, we can I know it's impossible, but yeah.
It's going to be, when people are going to have to suffer before stuff really starts getting radical, because as long as people got a roof and a couch and their bellies full and they got the NFL,
bro, but that's the problem.
No one's going to do anything. As soon as life starts to get impacted to where you don't have a roof, maybe you're missing some meals, dude, stuff will get wild once people start really suffering that way.
It took Gen Z like 4 years of realizing they're not going to buy a house to where they're full on like fucking.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Like
Gen Z is like, I don't have a house to live in.
Yeah, I'll never find a woman because she's on OnlyFans showing her butthole, and then I can't buy a house because rampant inflation and the boomers won't sell and all this stuff, and they're hurting real bad.
So, sir, can I tell you about a religion that will allow you to have 4 wives and whatever the left hand can possess? Can I?
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'll tell you, like, being a dad and having a kid that's Gen Z, and so like naturally, like I see him with all of his buddies that are Gen Z. They're different.
Oh yeah,
I'll just say that they're different, dude. Like they don't. This whole thing of like trying to force feed them all this leftist shit backfire. And that's putting it mildly. Like they say stuff where I'm just like, I don't even know what to say to that. Just like, I don't know.
Yeah. And they give me hope. They do. But we've got a long time before they take over. So I'm still trying to argue with the leftover millennials.
Hey, Bert, have you ever had to deal with your son where you're in public, your slightly autistic son, and he just rolls up to you and starts talking to you about Johnny's sins? Has that one ever rolled up on you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
That was a joyous one the other day.
Yep. Not yet, fortunately. Oh my God. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know like where this is gonna go, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear here the Republicans are gonna get fucking decimated in the midterms.
The midterms.
And then 2020, 2028, they've got I mean, they're gonna run Vance, but good fucking luck with that.
They're get the powers that be are allowing DeSantis to be very effective down in Florida, and you're gonna see a hard push on the DeSantis angle.
That would be smart on their part.
And I think what you'll see from the DeSantis angle is better domestic results for us, not what we would want, but he'll be full in on the American empire globally expanding.
Yeah, he's a wall kisser for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would ever run someone who wasn't at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to bode well. I don't even know who the fucking left is going to put up there. I have no idea.
Newsom, baby.
That's what I keep saying, but I don't.
It's going to be
I
Newsom.
don't even know.
Who else could it be? They don't have anyone else.
They're going to put Newsom. They're going to put Newsom and the chick that just won New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill.
You think so?
The governor. Yep. They're going to put Newsom and Mikey Sherrill.
Why would you think that?
Navy Academy chick, been pretty much groomed from the entire way. My buddy, we got to get him on. He ran as the libertarian candidate against her. It's on YouTube. Destroyed her in a debate. It was hilarious. Putin canceled Christmas. It was when they were claiming the Putin price hike. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But he's pretty much called it out all the way. And he's like, oh, they might run her. And I was like, that's exactly who they're going to run, because they won't run two white dudes. No. So it's going to be either a minority or a woman or both. They ain't going to move AOC in there. It'll be like, I could see it being a woman, Mikey Sherrill. Yeah.
And why do you think that would be effective? Putting a woman up there?
Plays identity politics. Women vote identity politics. That's why I said civics test and alignment, so we can get away from the tribalism. I see same as me, I vote same as me mentality.
Yeah. How is this system going to keep fucking going? If
it's not.
I know. I'm just.
It's not.
I know. I'm just from their point of view.
You got to just join me.
Yeah, I know. I'm like trying to think of what we can do to stop the mass.
What's it going to result in? I mean, is it going to be like a full-blown guerrilla-style civil war? Is it going to be like balkanization, where maybe counties and states just break away from?
Don't want to let that happen. You would need the political apparatus. You're going to have some type of guerrilla civil war.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's going to be so ugly, dude.
Sarajevo, Kosovo, that kind of shit.
It's going to be so ugly. People do not understand how ugly that will be, dude. That will be fucking brutal.
Yep. You'll have Italians fucking renting luxury yachts to go and shoot people in Sarajevo.
Oh my God.
You see that shit, dude?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Wait, that's real?
Yeah, dude, they're investigating all these like millionaires in Italy that apparently in like the 90s were taking like guided hunting tours where you could go to like Sarajevo and set up as a sniper and just shoot civilians.
The Russians do that now with the Somalis. They'll take you.
Pirates.
The pirates. Yeah.
Didn't they make a movie in the 90s about that with Ice-T? Where he was like, they did. He was on the run through the forest, and like these rich white dudes paid to go hunt him.
That's right.
They would like release these like criminals, and Ice-T was one of them. I'm pretty sure it was Ice-T.
Oh shit, I gotta find that then.
And they go hunt the people. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that movie.
And that was in the 90s too. That's crazy.
When you've got infinite money, I mean, you just got to fucking, you can do anything.
That's so nuts, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think as long as we have a democracy or this system that we have, and then we also import, hordes of people from other places that don't really give a shit about the country or have a culture.
Give them free stuff, so they.
Yeah, this is the way it's going to go. I mean, it's always going to. It's always going to. It's the logical conclusion, you know.
Dude, what here's like the biggest mind fuck is that you look at history at some of these like fascist movements, whether it's in Italy and Germany, and you begin to understand that democracy was great until it wasn't great. Democracy was great until everybody figured out you can't actually sustain it. And these commies will fucking infiltrate it.
Sure.
And then you got to tighten the noose. And then you get these fascist movements that are essentially just reactionary. They're reacting to the entire societal rug being pulled out from underneath them. And by that time, it's too late. And I mean, they try, and it just, I would say one of the big differences is that I don't know how prevalent firearms ownership was in Italy or Germany at the time. That might be a pretty big difference, that might play a role. But it looks like we're just reliving the rise of Bolshevism.
You cannot have a high trust society with a multicultural society. You can't. And I always think of this one video of this African-American gentleman. He goes to Towels or I think he might have been in like Park City or something. He was at a snowboarding or a ski resort. And he's like, look at this. They just leave their, you guys ever been snowboarding or skiing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go into the lodge or the bar, you just prop your shit up. You just leave it there. And he's like, look it, everyone just leaves their shit here, And it's like, yeah, that's what you do in a high trust society. You can have egg stands where people just leave eggs and say, hey, here's a dozen eggs, leave the money in the jar when you get one. That works great if we're in a high trust, homogenous society. It breaks down when you bring people in who don't have those values, shared values. That's why that's a real fucking problem. It's a real fucking problem. The system that we have today where we're just importing all these people and there is no moral fabric anymore. There's no cohesive idea that binds us together as Americans.
There is no American culture.
There is no American culture. It's gone. This shit is gone. Arguably, probably my whole life it hasn't been there, but it's less and less every year. I
feel like I'm Pedro Pascal, Mark, with Nicolas Cage in that driver's seat, where Nicolas Cage is like,
oh yeah,
he's like,
make your own kind of music.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah. No, it really, yeah.
Sometimes I have these fever dreams, dude, where like I'm back as a kid again, and like, dude, like my childhood was amazing, dude, but it's just like it is not the same world, man. Like I'll have these like memories of like being in like Little League, right? And we'd all like load into the bed of our friend's pickup truck, which like that would trigger a CPS investigation and probably arrest of both of your parents.
Sure.
If that, like literally it would be like half my Little League team rolling through the neighborhood in the bed of a pickup truck on the way to the game under the lights. And
this is my argument with JJ most of the time, Dan, is the America you keep talking about is gone. That shit is gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. So you're protecting this idea of this thing that's not even real. Like, oh, we're just going to take our country back and we're going to blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bro, that shit is, I don't know. It's, you don't understand what you're saying right now, what you're asking for.
Right.
Yeah. So I just think that, and then the way the psyop is, you get for what we just said right now, like a yearning for a time yonder or past or whatever. That's racist. You're talking about a time that's a time when there was less minorities here, or a time when men were in charge, or a time when blah blah blah. That's how they shame you. And at this point, I'm just like, yes, that is correct. It's all correct. Right. Yes, what you're saying is correct. I would like to go back to that time. I would like to go back to a time when you could just sit in the bed of a truck and then not get fucking. This nanny state doesn't get you harassed. And it really, I'm fucking telling you guys. Oh, my dog's freaking out because he thinks I just knocked. But it leads back to this suicidal, empathetic movement of weak men and fucking women. I'm telling you, it's what I see all the time. It's what I see in my real life when I talk to people. It is guys who get no bitches and girls that are just brainwashed from the propaganda, because women have always been easier to control. That everyone knows this. That
was called it out.
Well, because that was how they survived, right? When the tribe came over and murdered all the men and the boys, they killed any woman who pushed back on that, and they took the rest of them for what reasons. So the ones that were able to adapt and change to different shit all the time, they're the ones who survived. It's in their genome, you know, where in ours, we're much more like crystallized in our beliefs and our things, because like we had to be, because we don't get the luxury of when the tribe comes and massacres everyone. All of us, all three of us, they're not going to leave us alive. They're not going to,
Right.
you know, they have no value for us.
Right.
So women had this ability to just have their minds changed or like accept a new reality.
Compromise.
For us, compromise, because that's how they survived. That is how the female species survived.
The Romans actually had a formula on that about how many men they would kill. Then when they went and
decimation, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, no, decimation was when
they're soldiers.
Region, but like when they would do it, and it's funny because I don't know the name of it, but the country, there's a country, it's pretty obvious. And it was a pain in the ass to roam for fucking a long ass time until I want to believe it was Sulla went over there and fucking kicked their ass. And can you guess the name of the current country? I can't remember the name of it in ancient time, but it still has a name and we'll give it away.
I have no idea.
What
Romania.
Romania. Oh.
Yeah, dude, they went there and they were like, fuck our formula, and they killed all the dudes and enslaved. They killed or enslaved every single dude. No one got left free. And they and renamed the entire place. Like, we're not even going to give you a memory of this fucking place.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the way it's always been done. It's always been done this way. And I think that's what we're seeing today, where you have this, you know, this is why they focus so much. Like 80% of all consumer choices, they consume most of the goods. I mean, they're just consumers. Where men, you know, what did our evolution look like? We would go out in small hunting bands, you know, a small group of us would go hunt a large animal, kill it, bring back. So we had to be quiet. We valued quiet. We valued competency. We valued like teamwork and working together. You know, any asshole can pick a fucking berry, you know, like if you're hunters and gatherers, we were the hunters, women were the gatherers, right? So they stayed back and they fucking, you know, gathered shit and they would socialize and all the stuff where it was safe. And that's why, I mean, hundreds of thousands of years of us doing that have made the differences that exist in us today. And I just see this feminist movement is trying to push back on all of that, saying that we're exactly the same, we're all equal, and it's just so fucking obvious that it's not. Like, why is it like Leah Thomas, or that swimmer, is on all these hormone blockers and suppressants, and he still fucking smashes all these women in swimming, you know, like why are there, and that's physical. Well, why are there two different divisions in chess then between, there's a men's division and a women's division, you know, like it's not just physical, it's, there are key differences between men and women. And if you're an Orthodox Christian, you know, and I was raised Catholic, there's a very, like the biblical hierarchy in a family, in a society, is the man leads, well, it goes God, man, woman, child. It's not like that on accident, you know, and it has to be that way. And if someone's leading you, he has to be superior to you. You don't let someone inferior to you lead you. He'll lead you to ruin. So like, this is a truth that is as true as fucking gravity, you know, like, but like we're just told to deny this. We're taught to deny this through fucking generations of propaganda and social pressures and little force, you know, to do away with that. And that has had such a fucking detrimental effect on society. It's created this crazy domino effect where, like, when men couldn't lead their homes anymore, that was the first domino they pushed over, and then like fucking the rest of it was easy, you know. Like once you destroyed the family, and you got women in the workforce, and they were able to participate in the fucking political system. I mean, it was a wrap from that on. I would say the early, you know, 1900s. It's been a wrap.
All right, I gotta leave, and I'm gonna leave off on this after Mark's rant right there.
Sorry.
With my entire philosophy, I'm voting for the pantsuit. I'm voting for the pantsuit. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah. All right, dude. Easy, later, brother. Yeah, dude. So, I mean, so coming from the Orthodox Christian side of it, and you have children, and are you still married or no? Yeah.
No. No.
Well, yeah. So I'm going through a divorce, but that's not why I've been saying this shit for years. This might be why I'm going through divorce. But
sure.
I just see this feminine feminization of our society in a way that is
Yeah.
just, and it really bothers me, dude, when I see like Christians, and you're right, it's mostly people from the churches that were on that fucking geofencing list.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like the Episcopalians have literal gay female pastors.
Yeah. And like almost every major Protestant branch has gone through massive schism because of feminism and LGBTQ bullshit creeping into the church. The Lutherans had a massive branch break off, the Methodists, the Episcopalians, the Anglicans. And kind of going back into what you said there, in terms of like how you're seeing things break down in terms of the family unit, in terms of like relations between men and women.
Sure.
And there was Pew Research data that came out on non-denominational churches that was like sort of tracking their growth. And what they found is that in recent times, they have these non-denominational congregations are 75% female.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been my observation. Yeah.
And there are articles that just came out a week ago from the New York Times, like pretty mainstream stuff. Men are flocking to orthodoxy.
Sure.
And non-denominational men and couples. It's insane, dude. Even in the last year and a half, I've seen nothing but waves and waves and waves of people fleeing from non-denominational and Protestant denominations left and right for orthodoxy.
Because if you look at them like a business, like I told you, my father-in-law, he is a pastor of a Pentecostal church, so they're Protestant.
And should have bought a Honda, right? Should have bought a Honda.
Should have, yeah.
Should've.
And then my ex-wife, or technically my wife, but ex-wife, she was raised in that religion. It's very fundamentalist in some ways. Like the women can't play sports and all this stuff. There are some good things about it, but it's a business. When talking to him, it's not that he views it like a business, but he runs it like it's a business, like instead of like a spiritual place where you're trying to, lead people to, God, heaven, a right way of living and all this stuff. So if 75% of your congregation is female and you're running a business, who are you going to cater to? Like
1,000%. 1,000%. There's a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him. His name's Doug Wilson. He's a really prominent Protestant sort of preacher and leader in the whole sort of movement. And he was on someone's podcast. I can't remember which one. And someone asked him the question, what are some of the markers that show the health of a church? The number one thing he said that is a marker for the health of a church is whether or not the pastor is even capable of pastoring the females. That's what a Protestant pastor said. That's the number one marker for how healthy your church is are the females in your church under control? And is the pastoral leadership actually able to pastor them? And are they submitting to that? Yeah. And that's the number one indicator for the health of the church. It's like, should tell you something.
Well, what fired me up for this fucking podcast, I was talking to Dan in the first part, was I'm seeing all these, like, they call them the trad cons or whatever, like the traditional conservative people, like the females, the prominent one, the females that are coming out. And for some reason, a lot of them are Catholic. I don't know what that's about, which I get. Like the Bible is very specific about, a woman can't have authority over men or spiritually counsel men in church, but that's what they'll point to. They're like, well, that's only talking about church. I'm talking about in society. I'm here telling men that you're terrible and you're doing all these things wrong and all this stuff. Kind of comes off as nagging to me, but like I'm seeing this movement, this huge movement of the traditional conservatives, and coming from a biblical point of view, and it just seems just inundated or infiltrated by these feminist ideas where, like these women are telling women in their churches, like, if he does this, if he does that, leave him. If he does this or he does that, he's not a real leader. It's like,
right. Yeah.
It's like, how about you just tell women what they should do?
Sure.
And then the strong men will take care of the strong men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So I was raised non-denominational, and I forget who I heard say it first. Maybe it was like Pearly Things. I'm not sure who I heard say it, but it really resonated with me because this is exactly what I saw growing up in these churches, and that was the fact that I was always told, it was always made. If you were a young man growing up in a non-denominational or Protestant church, it was never a secret in terms of what is the expectation for how you treat a young lady or
Sure.
or a woman, and females generally speaking.
Yeah.
That was always made known.
Yeah.
And until I heard someone say it, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually true too, which is that I almost never heard ever a talk towards the girls in church
No.
of this is how you treat men. Ever. I've never heard that sermon before, not once.
Yeah.
But I've
Because
heard
who are
but
they
I've
catering
heard
to?
but I've heard the sermons about men. You guys are not being men. And this is, dude, it's just like
Yes.
talking down to you. As a matter of fact, I haven't released it. I started editing a video together where what I did was all these churches put their sermons online, like on YouTube, right? They're like, they all got cameras in their sanctuaries. So they like edit them together and take your pick. There's a million churches with a million sermons on YouTube. And so what I did was I specifically went back and started downloading as many as I could, specifically on Father's Day. And then what did these same pastors say on Mother's Day? You'll be fucking shocked.
Yeah.
It's shocking, dude.
Yeah.
When it's Mother's Day, it is absolutely no apologies, no clarifying, just women, thank you. You are the glue that holds our family together. And when it's Father's Day, it's like this gloomy, kind of like melancholy attitude where the pastor's like, it's a really hard day today for a lot of people. Because we don't have a lot of good men anymore. We don't have good men. You're not doing your job. And it's just a shit on men fest on Father's Day for the most of these churches. But on Mother's Day, it's like we're worshiping you. Like, oh my God, what would we do without you? And it really shows you the kind of what you're saying of like, it makes sense. These congregations are 75% women. They're going to cater to who's paying the bills and keeping the lights on.
Yeah, that's exactly the conclusion I've come to is why they're doing that. Because it's not exactly biblical, but it makes perfect sense if you're running it like a business catering to your consumers, like
which non-denominational Christianity, it literally is a business. They're all little islands unto themselves. They're all 501c3 nonprofits where the buck doesn't stop any higher than the head pastor and whoever's on the board. They don't there's not like a patriarchate that they answer to. They don't have to answer to a bishop. They don't have to answer to any other authority. Like for any given non-denom church, and you do sort of have larger authority structures in certain Protestant places because they will have confessions, and that if you're not, you'll be out from that umbrella. But for your typical non-denominational church, it's literally the pastor and God, or whatever he perceives of God telling him what to do, and there's no other higher authority.
So it is kind of like the non-denominationals are kind of like a democratic republic, and then you have your Eastern, or even your Catholics. I mean, they have a pope. I mean, it's essentially a dictatorship. Like I don't know, man. It kind of shows that's another example of where that system is kind of more superior than like a council of fucking people trying to, I don't know, maybe just not running it like a business. It just doesn't seem like that's correct. Yeah, for Christian religion. But yeah, dude, I'm seeing it nonstop, and it's just it really bothers me. I mean, like what you said exactly, like how they're constantly harping on men because men are the leaders. That's why they're talking to the men. But but it's like you're not going to spend like maybe 10% of the time like telling the women what their role is, because that's why the red pill. Are you familiar with the red pill stuff, like Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines and those guys? Yeah, like their whole thing is like bringing women out, putting them on camera, and being like, okay, we know, the first thing it was asking is like, what kind of guys you're looking for? Because they all know the answer to that. But then it's like, what do you offer? And then fucking crickets. And then it's like, like, I don't, what do you bring to the table? I am the table, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Or they'll say stuff that is like the opposite of what any rational dude would want. Like, well, I'm a firecracker and like I'm really tough to handle. You think that's what a dude wants someone that's hard to handle?
Yeah.
Like a dude who's working his ass off all day and then he wants to come home to just bitching? Nah, dude. No dude wants that. No dude wants that.
It's because they're incapable.
And you have a lot of these simps too. So many dudes that are just fucking absolute simps where they're like, well, if a man was doing his job and being a real man and actually leading his wife and blah blah blah, it's like, okay, but that assumes that you have women that at least are to a caliber where they're even willing to submit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
then they'll try to argue, oh, well, but if you were a good man, then she would submit. And it's just kind of this like this sort of like weird sadistic kind of merry-go-round where they can't acknowledge the
Sure.
problem that's there.
And I see it because even in the Christian community, they'll say that men and women are equals. You know, like, why would you submit to someone who's your equal? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would you be led by someone who's like your peer? You know, like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like leadership implies I'm here, you're here. Like if you were worse than me, why would you be leading me? If you're the same as me, again, why would you be leading me? You know, like you have to have qualities that I don't have, you know, like you have to be better than me in some way if you're going to be a leader. And this was something I ran into with my own spouse was, you know, like, oh, I expect the man to be the leader, but I don't want to listen to you. You can't control me in any way.
Right.
You know, like I don't want you being responsible for me. It's
Right.
like, well, how can I be like a leader then? Like those are
Right.
built into being a leader, right? Like,
yes. Yeah. And the other component too, when, you know, dudes are like, well, you know, you're just not, if your woman won't submit, just means you're not being a good dude. It's like that kind of gets shown to be a really fraudulent argument when you realize that like Tom Brady wasn't a good enough dude.
Right. Yes.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Brad Pitt wasn't a good enough dude. Tiger fucking Woods wasn't a good enough dude. Johnny Depp wasn't a good enough fucking dude. Like you could go Jason fucking Momoa, not a good enough dude. That's right from the whatever podcast. Like that, dude, that is what really kind of opened my eyes where I think he said something to the effect of like, if those men can't keep a chick,
what chance do you have?
What chance do I have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's a really good point. Is it really because men are just dumb and men just aren't good enough? Holy shit, man. If those dudes can't figure it out, they're not good dudes?
I'm starting to think it might not be the men.
Might not be the men.
Might not be the men.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I don't know if you heard this. You look at the top grossing like rom-coms of all time and like top grossing chick flicks of all time. Every single fucking one of them, I shouldn't say every, the vast majority, probably 90% or better, all revolve around the similar plot line where there's a chick who's with a good dude and she cheats on him. They're all of these romance stories are predicated on the woman not being happy, and then she's unfaithful to the dude she's with and rides off into the sunset with some other fucking guy.
That's what I could boil down this tradcon female influencer thing to. Like the second you're unhappy, he's fucking up and you should get out. It's
Correct.
like there is no weight put onto duty anymore, except for the man. The man has a duty to protect, provide provision, but the woman doesn't have a duty if she's unhappy.
Nothing.
Yeah. Right. And that's literally led to huge problems. I mean, I see it in my real life. I see it obviously on internet culture. I see it all over the fucking place. And the way, like I said, the women are the women. That's what they'll do. They're easily manipulated.
Right.
But the men, the simps that you're talking about, if there's 1.4 million women on OnlyFans or whatever, that means there's fucking multiple times that of the dudes consuming their content. Like, and you're a fucking simp, dude. If you're doing that, you're paying some
that's
fucking
insane.
chick.
I don't know. I can't understand any dude that would, in his right mind, subscribe to anybody's OnlyFans.
I've never met one in real life, unless I mean, I feel like some of the dudes in my life would tell me if they do it because they're very open about other fucking degenerate shit they do. But I haven't met someone who's like an OnlyFans consumer, but I'm assuming, remember, that's worldwide. So it could be like fucking, 50 million Indian dudes, subscribing to that shit.
Sure.
But yeah. So like, if there's like the simps, that's where I'm kind of focusing on in my day to day when I talk to men about it. Like, I'm like, you shouldn't be fucking simping for chicks. Like if you don't like her, stop fucking being in the friend zone. You know what I mean? Stop buying her shit. Stop investing in her because she's not investing in you. So why are you doing that?
Dude, it goes beyond even like that's like a low form of it. But like even men like if you're raised in even a somewhat normal way in a somewhat normal home, you are automatically going to have this idea instilled in you that as a man, you have an obligation to protect women. right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'll tell you what, man, I still have that, but I'm to the point
Yeah.
where I'm like, I ain't acting on that shit. I'm not gonna, dude. No way, no way.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way these females act, I'm gonna go risk my life
Sure. Yeah.
because you cheated on a dude and now you're getting into a domestic, like out in public. Like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peace. Nope,
No. Yeah. I mean, this
not
is
getting
what
involved.
this is what I was talking about. Gen Z, dude, they've come to this conclusion way earlier than we did,
Yeah,
but they're already there, like, because they've been on the internet their whole lives. So they
yeah.
saw it, they lived it, they're seeing the young girls and what they're doing, and
Mhm.
the promiscuity and the boss girl attitude, and
Yeah.
watching the whatever podcast and all this stuff, and the unreal expectations, and even these young men, the Gen Zs, they've been raised, you never hit a woman, they're the gentler, fairer sex, and they can do everything you can do, and they're they're liberated, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You're to protect them at all costs. But I was never taught how a woman was supposed to treat me by my
Correct.
father. I never wasn't.
Right.
I grew up without my mom, but all the women in my life, the adult women in my life, like some of them are good women even to this day, but like no one explicitly told me like, oh, a girl's supposed to treat you this way. I was never taught that. And I think
Right.
most guys weren't,
Right.
like,
Right. Well, because that would involve a criteria of what is a woman supposed to bring to the table. And
which is
women
oppressive.
today, as it's shown on all these like red pill podcasts, even they can't name what they bring to the table.
Yeah. Because
Like,
they were
even
never
they are
taught.
like, well, they don't have anything.
Yeah. And it boggles my mind, dude, still to this day. Like, and you can't even have the conversation because, like you said, you mentioned Pearl, the Just Pearly Things, great podcast. Like, look how much fucking blowback she gets for saying simple, the simplest shit. Like,
it's crazy.
yeah, like, hey, if you're not having sex with your husband, like that's a form of abuse. And everyone's like, oh, so I'm just a sex slave. And it's like, it's not what I'm saying, but that is a role that you have. That is like just as much as a man is supposed to take a bullet for you, you are supposed to provide exclusive sex to them.
Isn't it ironic how like you guys out of one side of your mouth are talking about how you're liberated by sex work and on OnlyFans. And then in terms of like keeping your husband happy, you're like, what am I, a sex object? It's like,
yeah.
The fucking hypocrisy is insane to me.
She's like, oh, well, he only wanted sex from me. So that's why I slept with this other dude and cheated on him. It's like, okay, what do you think that guy wanted from you? You know what I mean? Like,
I know, right?
What the fuck are you doing?
It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's right. And too, like the whole hashtag Me Too, hashtag Believe Her, dude, that truly damaged. I think I think the reason why marriage rates and birth rates are plummeting is because I don't think it's women saying no. I think it's men saying no.
I think too.
Men are for the first time are doing a risk versus reward, risk benefit analysis, and they're recognizing you ain't fucking worth it. So we're just gonna say no.
How many of these compilations do you have to watch of these older, women, late 20s, early 30s that are like, I was staring at this guy in the gym. Like, I've been staring at him. He just won't come up to me. I go out with my friends to the bars and not a single dude came and approached us. And they're pretty women, like, I think it is that. Like, it's just, dudes are just fuck that.
It was like, this was a year and a half ago. I was in the Gaslamp district in San Diego, and I'm walking down the street and I can hear some woman just like screeching, right? And as I'm walking down the street, it's getting louder and louder until I finally see her. And it's her and like some dude, and the dude is like perfectly calm, not even saying anything. She is in his face, screaming at him and like socking him in the face, and he's just like taking it. And I see the first punch and I'm like, whoa, and I don't say anything. She hits him like 2 or 3 more times, and I hear somebody yell from behind me, and it's like a elderly couple that was like, we're out on a walk together. They were like in their 60s or something, and the man yelled at her and said, hey, keep your hands to yourself, don't touch him. As soon as he yelled that, instant waterworks from her. I mean, dude, she immediately starts bawling her. Like, I don't know how she turned the waterworks on that fast. Instant crying and claiming that he was the one hitting her. Right. And then that's when I spoke up, and I'm like, I saw you the whole time. He didn't touch you. Not once did he touch you. And
Yeah.
like, it just like, it's scary, dude. Like, that's scary. It's
Yeah, it's
Machiavellian.
crazy.
Dude.
It is Machiavellian, but I think they all kind of have it. Like, and I think I don't even blame, it's not, I definitely don't hate women, dude. I don't want it to come off like that.
No.
I have a daughter. I have a mother. I have three sisters. I love women. I'm just trying to be objective about what I'm seeing,
Right.
like what's going on in the world.
It's becoming all too common. It's happening
Super
all
common.
the time.
And it's leading to
Not
what you
good.
said, declining birth rates, increasing divorce rates.
Yep.
And that is, like I said, the cornerstone of our society are our families. And if you're I'm looking at all the factors that are destroying the families. There's a bunch, the economics, the inflation, that shit is destroying families. But this whole inflation, or whatever you want to call it, this women and the women's empowerment movement has been, I mean, it's probably been one of the most detrimental things that I can point to.
Right.
And like we talked about earlier in the podcast was like, and men kind of have allowed it, like we've kind of allowed it because like we literally could say no, like these men that are just not approaching women, but that's not really tenable either because that still leads to the end of your society. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
if
men just check out.
This is by design, dude. This is by design. Dr. Stephen Baskerville, he's one of the only scholars that I've seen really tackle this subject, and his work is incredible. And he's really not that well known, unfortunately, but his name's Dr. Stephen Baskerville. And this is by design, because what makes a strong nation? Strong families. Strong families.
Yeah.
So you want to destabilize a nation, destabilize the family, right?
Yeah.
And job well done. That's exactly what's happened. And one of the number one things that happened, that kind of the first turning point, was 1969, the Institute of No Fault Divorce.
Sure.
So it came from the Soviet Union is where this came from. And it was at first instituted in the state of California, and then slowly, just rampantly went across the whole country. But Dr. Stephen Baskerville rightly notes that the only thing that can regenerate and repopulate itself at the same rate as the state is the family, where you have, these patriarchs, these men that start these families, they're intact families, and then the fathers will inculcate, and the mothers too, will inculcate their children with these American sort of principles that I think we obviously took for granted, right?
Sure.
But now you split the families up. The children no longer have the father to look to as that one that inculcates stuff. Now it's mom and the state and public school that are going to inculcate the children, and they inculcate them with like radicalist, activist, leftist values, not the fathers anymore.
And then you get what we have today. What you're seeing around you, and but they didn't count on this, or maybe they did count on this. And we were talking about a civil war earlier, which is, I think, for me, probably more likely than balkanization. Balkanization would be like the peaceful way forward, and like Dan said, they wouldn't allow that to happen. So it's going to not be peaceful. But what happens? One of the biggest deciders of male passivity is having a family, because women will kind of soften you a little bit, temper your, when you're a single man, I mean, you got nothing to lose, bro.
You got nothing to lose.
So
if you had a family and now you don't anymore, most dudes got grudges.
That's me. Unfortunately,
dude, most dudes got grudges, and they're like, "Let's get it on. Let's go."
But that is another check in the box, or the side of civil strife or something coming, because you have a lot of disenfranchised men without mates who've been demonized and all these other things, and now they don't have mates or some family that they're like during COVID, right? A lot of guys took the jabs because they're like, fuck, I got to take care of my family, so they acquiesced for that.
Yes.
But if I was a single dude, not only would I have not taken the jab, which I didn't take the jab, but I would have been a lot more crazy. Let's just say that.
Sure.
I would have been.
You'd be more outspoken about it.
For sure.
You don't have to worry about, anything happening where you can't take care of your family anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't agree more.
So you have this perfect storm of men being incels or walking away from that responsibility of a family. At the same time, society is kind of falling apart the way it is falling. And so now you have all these men that are not only capable of violence, but are, they don't have a lot of restraints on them anymore.
Sure. Yeah, they got less to lose. A lot less to lose.
By far, dude.
And possibly more to gain by
Yeah,
fighting
yeah,
you.
that's true. That's true because if
You
if
know?
you do, yeah, I mean, if you could win, you would reorganize
Right.
society in a way that would
Correct.
probably
Yeah.
I would hope would go back to more of a closer to our nature than what we have now. But again, this is the way you'll be shamed is, oh, you're a radical, you're a Nazi, you're a sexist,
Right.
you're a misogynist,
Right.
blah 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 blah. It's like,
Yeah. And thankfully, this day and age, nobody cares.
yeah, it's
They've
less and less.
outused all those terms. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
nobody takes you seriously. If you are still, honestly, same thing with anti-Semite. Okay, what
yeah,
does that even mean?
sure.
What does that
Yeah,
even mean?
yeah,
You got anyone so much as criticized Israel in the last 50 years, they're an anti-Semite, and no one
sure.
takes you seriously anymore. Nobody.
Yeah, it's not even criticizing Israel sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I don't think we should send as much foreign aid to these countries as we do. Oh,
Right.
you're an anti-Semite. It's like,
You're
I
an
didn't even mention
anti-Semite.
Israel, but
I
yeah.
know. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, we can wrap it up there, man. I just wanted to
sounds good.
get this out. Dude, I'm glad you joined us, man.
Yeah.
For this
anytime.
one. For sure. Anything you want to
Anytime.
fucking plug or anything before we bow out?
Dude, Dr. Stephen Baskerville.
Dr. Stephen Baskerville. I don't know about him.
Baskerville, dude. Check him
Okay.
out, man. The guy is brilliant. He's one of the only serious PhD scholars who has delved into the family court system, who has delved into no-fault divorce, who has delved into the destruction of the family. This guy is brilliant, legit PhD, and he's one of the only serious scholars that has really looked at the evidence for all of it, and it's shocking what he comes away with. So check him out.
Yeah, because I've been trying to push this into the conversation because I feel like a lot of people like the red pill stuff is funny and entertaining and it has done a lot of good as far as like showing men how women think. But I don't think a lot of people talk about that aspect of it, of like, what are the effects as far as society? Like, what is it doing on our societal level?
Absolutely.
What does the future look like if we keep going down this road of women's empowerment, men becoming incels, the breakdown between families, all that stuff. Yeah. So
check it out, man. Awesome. Thanks, bro.
All right, brother. Later, bro.